In the absence of a male member of the Tripathi family, Madhuri performs her late husband's final ceremonies during Mana Tripathi's funeral in the first episode of Mirzapur Season 3. Reporters harass Madhuri outside the crematorium, questioning him about Mana's father, Kailen Tripathi, missing his only son's funeral. Speaking to the media, Madhuri promises to put an end to the violence that has been occurring in Mirzapur. Madhuri informs P.A. Anand that her husband's death was caused by the throne of Purvanchal, the region that contains Mirzapur. "I will destroy this throne now," she continues. After Ramakant Pandit brought himself in for the murder of SSP Maurya, the program then skips to the hearing of his case. Ramakant informs the magistrate that he must answer for his offense. Given that Ramakant premeditated the murder, the prosecution, Panchabi, requests that the judge ensure that Ramakant receives a harsh punishment for his crime. According to Panchabi, Ramakant took this action to help his son Guddu's business. The judge requests that Ramakant be detained in court until the following hearing date. Guddu and his men stop the car as Ramakant is being driven to the prison so he can speak with his father. Guddu pushes his lawyer father to stand up for himself in court. Ramakant informs his son that he is resolved to bear the consequences of his error. Guddu sends his son away and requests that he be taken to prison by the police after offering to help Ramakant get away with the murder. After meeting Madhuri, Sharad gives her his condolences. Sharad informs her that since Mana had supported Sharad following his father's death, they ought to collaborate for Mana. Sharad is informed by Madhuri that while she will not condone his illegal actions, she is open to working with him in other contexts. Sharad asks Madhuri and P.A. Anand if they had heard about Kailen as he leaves, but they both say they haven't. Golu appears at the same moment, searching for Kailen on Guddu's behalf. But she has to deal with Uma Dutt, the local thug. Golu is horrified to see a teenage kid being beheaded by Uma's soldiers. Uma warns Golu and asks her to keep Guddu in check because he isn't yet the monarch of Purvanchal. As requested, Guddu arrives outside the police station to retrieve his father's scooter and return it to his house. Back at home, Guddu begs his sister Dimpi and mother Vasudha to move in with him since he would be a better protector over them. Vasudha won't leave the house where they live. Subsequently, Madhuri encounters Dubey, a police officer, and requests that he devise a means of getting rid of Guddu. She also informs him that Bina, her mother-in-law, and her infant son were held captive by Guddu. She begs the policeman to keep her out of the situation and inquires as to whether he knows anything about Mana's father, Kailen. After killing Mana and supposedly killing Tripathi, Guddu and Golu have taken over the Tripathi family residence in Mirzapur. Gazing upon her infant baby, Bina considers his father, whose identity remains a mystery. Gola comes back after being unable to locate Tripathi. Bina requests that she focus and locate Tripathi in order to proclaim Guddu as the ruler of Purvanchal's underworld. Golu informs Bina that an election would be held to select Kailen's replacement as leader of the thugs from across the state of Uttar Pradesh. Golu claims that Guddu would not be regarded as the usurper of the Purvanchal monarch because Kailen's body was not found. Bina claims that Kailen has been hiding because of an inner man, and she begs Golu to utilize all of her strength to usurp the kingdom in Tripathi's absence. That evening, Golu requests that Guddu establish ties with the other goons in the vicinity in order to ensure his coronation as the head of the Purvanchal, i.e. Mirzapur, thugs. Guddu says he wants the thugs to prove their allegiance to him, thus he declines to attend the gathering of the thugs. Sharad stirs up the group of thugs at the meeting, and at his mother's request, he meets with the West Purvanchal, Manawar mediator. Together, Sharad and Manawar determine that Sharad ought to be proclaimed the leader of Purvanchal. The following day, Golu and Bridge attempt to persuade Guddu to attend the gathering that all of the local goons from Purvanchal are scheduled to attend. Golu utilizes her cunning and strength to persuade Guddu to visit the place even if he is unwilling to go there. Manawar draws attention to the fact that Guddu, the person who is supposed to have killed Kailen, was not present at the meeting. Sherrod and Munawar come to the conclusion that Sherrod will assume the position of Provincial's leader. But Gudu appears and makes fun of Sherrod for not being capable of leading Provincial. Gudu adds that Kaleen was still his usurper even if his corpse was never discovered. To agitate him, Sherrod brings up the passing of Gudu's brother Bablu, his wife Sweetie, and their unborn kid. As Munawar declares that Gudu and Sherrod must each establish their suitability for the throne, the conference ends in chaos. Sherrod threatens Gudu as he leaves. Since Sherrod was the one sheltering Kaleen, Golu comes to the conclusion that Sherrod was acting foolishly around them. Sherrod meets Bart at the location where they were hiding Kaleen as the episode comes to a close. Sherrod requests that the physician use every effort to rouse Kaleen from her vegetative state. The review of the episode. It seems that this season of Mirzapur is about much more than just crime and drug trafficking. Now that goons from all across Provincial are involved in the race for the king, the politics have beyond the boundaries of Mirzapur. Even while Gudu could be content with the throne of Mirapur, he would have greater authority if he led Provincial, like Kaleen did. From the looks of it, Golu currently possesses far greater mental and physical strength than Gudu. Given her brilliance and ambition, I wouldn't be shocked to see Golu take over the company and be considered for the throne of Mirzapur. But Kaleen is undoubtedly still alive, and it will be intriguing to see if he survives this or not.